Welcome, everybody, back to Veil of Sound. This is one of our regular interview Sundays, and it's one of the last ones before Roadburn. So don't expect an interview on Roadburn Sunday. Daddy's not there. No Sunday interview on Roadburn Sunday. So, but I'm very happy to have another Dutchie here on the show with us. So I'm very happy to have Erik from Verwoed. I don't even know how to pronounce it. He's going to clue it up. So thanks for joining the show. Erik, how do I pronounce that name?
Verwoed.
Verwoed. Okay, so yeah, the O-E is U in English, right? In Dutch.
Yeah,
right?
you nailed it, basically. Yeah, first try.
But what does Verwoed mean in Dutch?
It's a word that encompasses a lot, actually. It can mean anything from being angry, but also passionate. And I think that is that really covers everything that Verwoed and what I do is. Yeah. And it's a layered layer. The word has a layered meaning. Like there's a lot.
But then,
yeah.
I mean, as you already pronounced it, I thought I should have known, because it shares the same root as the German word Wut, anger, rage, something like that. But as you've already said, Verwoed, the project of yours is much more layered. It's not a typically pedal to the metal, let's rage as hard as we can kind of black metal.
No.
There is a lot more to it. And that is also something that I like a lot about the record. So to make it clear for everybody, if you haven't already listened to Erik's new record, The Mother, which has been published a few weeks ago via Wolves of Hades and Argento Records, please do so. Please stop right here and first listen to the record, because I think the record is amazing. And there is something that I like a lot, and that was that the record reminded me a lot of free bands from, the regions along the Rhine. One being Fluisteraars, the second Iskandr, and the third, my homies in Ultha. Erik, is it correct when I say that you are also in some ways aiming at a kind of atmospheric, psychedelic kind of black metal?
Not necessarily like consciously aiming at it, but it's just it's what comes out. It's what happens when I write music. It's not like I sit down and consciously write music that has to sound like a certain way. It's just what naturally happens. Regarding this psychedelic part, when I record, I use psychedelics. So I guess it's only logical that you like hear it in the music, like in the final product. What was the first band you mentioned?
Fluisteraars.
Yeah, Iskandr. I mean, I'm wearing an Iskandr long sleeve right now, so
Shout out to Omar
great friend of mine. One of my best friends. I admire him greatly, and what he does is incredible. What was the first band you mentioned?
Fluisteraars, and the third one was Ultha from Cologne.
Yeah, Ultha, I know, great guys, fucking great band as well. I don't know the first band you mentioned, but
that is the band of Bob Mollema and Mink Kops.
Oh, Fluisteraars. Is
it Fluisteraars?
Right.
Yeah, see, my Dutch is just so bad.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. No, that's okay. Yeah. I love Fluisteraars. Yeah, I think you kind of nailed it. Yeah. Fluisteraars is, man. I think mm, it's actually the best Dutch band at this moment, doing incredible like genre breaking stuff. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird to say, like, I don't know, kind of crazy to say that like a contemporary band really influences you that much, because most of the times it's like bands from the past, like 60s bands or 70s bands. But what Fluisteraars is doing is really yeah, like they're fucking, I don't know, they're super good at what they're doing. And
By,
really inspires me, like the way they do it. And yeah.
by the way, for all those people who haven't already set their Roadburn tables for this year, make sure that you catch the Fluisteraars show, which will also be one of those things that I have encircled with a big red pen in my table, in my
It's the same day we are playing.
Yeah, but I think you're not playing at the same time, aren't you?
No, it's the same day, same venue, but they're playing later after us, I think.
As you've already mentioned, that that the two guys are genre breaking and also in a way genre defying in all of what they do. When I listened to the new record Mother, there were also a lot of moments when I thought, like, okay, is this really still black metal, or is it already something different? I think for making it easy for people to grasp what you're doing, I think black metal might be the best label. But first of all, I don't guess that you sit down and say, like, okay, I want to write a true black metal song. That's very likely not what you are trying to do. But there are many different parts on there. I mean, like, sometimes I even had a feeling as if, some Killing Joke, some 16 Horsepower, aka David Eugene Edwards, and other stuff. Are there, like, you've already mentioned Fluisteraars as like influence, but are there like other influences where you say, like, okay, I really like that, and I see that this has an influence on my writing?
That's a question I think we can, I mean, I can take like a day to answer that, I think. Like, what
Okay,
influences
then
me
take
most.
a minute to think and then shoot from your head.
Yeah. But do you mean like musically, or?
Yeah, musically, like sound-wise, because when it comes to
Sound?
other influences, I think we'll talk about that in a little moment. But sound-wise, like
I think like
what
sound-wise, it's there are some, yeah, of course, man. I like like Swans is always a band that somehow manages to wrangle its way into my music. Like all the dragged out parts that I tend to write are, I always have like Swans and Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds in the back of my head. Or at least they somehow see through the music. They're also like two of my favorite bands ever, so I guess it's only natural that it shows in the music that I write. That I think it's also I think you can hear it quite clearly on the mother, that I wear my influences more on my sleeve than on the Val or on Bodemloos. Yeah, and I also like coming back to like what you said about like the genre defying stuff, like going into writing new music a couple years back for the mother. I also really like didn't I didn't want to confine myself to just black metal.
Yeah.
Write another like dissonant piece of music that I did with the Fall. Also, yeah, I don't know. So musically, it's Swans, Nick Cave, of course, also black metal stuff, and then we come to Fluisteraars, who play black metal in a brilliant way that has never been done before. Yeah.
When
I don't know if that answers your question, but
it definitely does. It definitely does. What the record also does, I mean, there are some very fast, some very in hyphens angry parts on the record, but at the same time there is this certain kind of comfort. You know, there are moments when I felt as if I could completely lean into the music and, you know, with the music holding me and not letting me fall. Which is of course a wonderful thing. Is that also something that, when there we come to the topic, that the mother should do for the child? Be strict and be comforting at a certain point?
I don't know. I guess that's like in the eye of the beholder, like the listener, to take that comfort, feel that comfort in the music. I'm glad you feel that in my music, but it's again not something that I consciously wrote that way. So I'm happy to hear that it does that to you, and it might do that to other listeners. And it sometimes does that to me as well when I listen to the record, which I barely do. Like I try to minimize listening to my own music. Yeah, no, it's not something that I consciously like try to evoke in a way with
You
what I
have now
wrote.
already mentioned twice the subconscious level. So how conscious are you when you are writing the stuff?
When I'm writing this stuff,
how much of it is subconscious and how much is like real decisions?
oof, I think the real decisions happen when I'm in studio, when I'm actually recording. Yeah. So when writing, I really try to like I let my subconscious and instincts work their way. I think that's like that's the purest, most true form of creating art and music. Don't think, just feel, and work it. Like that's So I don't know. No, it's like when writing, it just comes to me. I don't think anything over. I just write and record demos and listen to them over and over, and eventually they shape into a song. And when it comes to making like real choices, songwriting wise, that happens in the studio during the recording process mostly. And so like for the Mother, I recorded everything myself again. I also recorded drums, like on the Val, Joris Nijenhuis, my friend, recorded drums. So like for the Val, I had to be more clear about the structures and like the patterns in the song. And but for the Mother, I was free to like basically do whatever the fuck I wanted. So I went into the studio with demos and ideas in my head, and I just worked with that. And I feel that that also reflects on the final product, like the final result of the recordings, which is now the Mother. Yeah.
You said that you always record whenever you are writing. Is that also then? But so when you record it, are you already aware at that moment of creation? Are you already aware, like, oh, this could lead to somewhere, or does it then take the listening session to the demo?
No. I'm always like when I write something, it just I just know. Like when I write something, I just know it's good. Okay. When it resonates like a certain level with me, gets stuck in my head for days on end. That's when I know it's something special. I don't know where it comes from, but that's yeah.
That probably also has to do with the fact that you are the only member of Verwoed, so you know that, okay, if this pleases me, then that's good enough, because I don't have to discuss my music with anybody else.
No, exactly. Yeah, that's yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, yeah. Like nowadays, like when I first started out, which is 10 years ago, it was a studio project. So I only had myself and my own feelings and emotions and my own mind to reflect on. And in 2016, we started playing live during the Bodemloos EP era. And like the live members, like then live members, Jeroen and Michael, they have slowly but surely become more involved in Verwoed as well. So like whenever I write something, I will, like now whenever I write something, I will always send it to them as well to see what they think. So in a way, it's changed from from how it was in the past. I mean, it's still me, but like I have like some people to how do you say it? Like they're kind of a mirror. Like I throw it to them and they shoot it back to me, and I don't know. It's yeah.
So those so the live members of Verwoed, the people who you share a stage with, those are the only members, or sorry, the only people who give you some kind of feedback on the new tracks, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
and
because I also really respect them as musicians. Like they have some very good bands that they were involved in or are involved in, and I really respect their vision and their. They also like what I noticed over the years, like playing live with them, like they also. And also gave them like that freedom to interpret the songs and play it the way live that they felt would be befitting to the music. And they really made like the music their own in a way, like and maybe also brought what I like originally intended to a whole different level. Yeah, so like their opinion is super important to me. Like if I come up if I come up with something and one of them says that it's shit, then they're probably
you know
right.
It's shit?
You know, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But do you then completely dismiss this idea, or do you rework it?
No, I rework it. Like speaking about the mother, I like no shit, like regarding the mother, nothing of that sort has happened, but I can see that happening maybe in the future. Like I'm writing new stuff as we speak. Well, not as we speak because we're like, talking right now, but
Yeah.
I'm writing new stuff and sending demos around to Jeroen and Michael. Yeah, I can see it happening. Like that I have to like rework something or whatever.
Do you think that there will ever be a moment when those two are not only your mirrors, but also contributors to Verwoed? Like on the record itself?
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. I think the way they play and the sound that they bring is super important to Verwoed live, which is the most important thing. I think playing music live.
So then that has already shifted, because you said like at the beginning it was a studio project. Now you say live is the most important thing. So those two have a lot of influence by now already, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
That's cool.
It's interesting. Yeah, it's also for me interesting to like Verwoed is in my head at least is like very organic thing. Like it all comes from me, but over the years it has grown into something beyond me. Also involving Jeroen and Michael and live shows and like interaction with people who witness us live. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I'm curious to see where it goes from here.
Let's talk about the concept behind the record. And first question of all for me is, do you write the lyrics at the same time as the music, or do the lyrics and vocals come later?
Most of the time the lyrics and vocals come later. Like lyrics, especially like I write a shit ton of lyrics all the time. But mostly I write the music first, and yeah, then I'll see and figure out what lyrics work best on what part of the music. Yeah.
So then, when the lyrics come later, does the new record, does it have a certain kind of overarching topic?
The record in its entirety, you mean, like a concept?
Yeah.
Again, not consciously, but I think that what I write, in the end, comes down to like a certain thing. Like, it's not that I try to write a concept album or anything like that. But it's all connected in a way, musically and lyrically.
So then what is the...
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does make sense, but you still... then still the question is, what is the overarching topic? What is the topic of the mother?
It's not necessarily the topic of the mother, but it's more like the topic of Verwoed, like the search for spiritual freedom and knowing that this is not it.
And
like it's a continual search for me as well. It's kind of hard to put into words.
I was just thinking about it because, you know, when I look at, for example, the track titles, we have the mother, we have the child. We also have some pretty religious kind of images. You're talking about 7 trumpets, like in the trumpets that brought down Jericho. Or you're talking about a choir, which of course is a very essential part of Catholic and also in general Christian Mass. And you are also using the image of a rosary. So is there some kind of religious background to the mother?
Like taking not necessarily religious, but spiritual, I think, and breaking down the boundaries to which we are confined as human beings, and vessels. Yeah, it's a good question, and I think about it a lot as well. I guess not like I don't have a religious background. I didn't grow up Catholic or Protestant or anything. But I'm having a hard time finding the words. Like,
then let me ask a different question, because that is something that struck me when you were talking about a vessel. So a few moments ago, you spoke about a vessel. You used that term, and it strikes me that, would you say in a way when you write and you say like you compose stuff and it's happening very organically, very flowingly, and also in a way subconsciously, would you say that you are a vessel for the music that is already there?
I don't know. I'm not 100% convinced that I am. Not 100% convinced. 100% convinced that I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
No, I can see what you mean. I can also
like
see that because you've been speaking about unconscious decisions. You know, if I imagine you sitting there starting to write, in a way intoxicated, then of course, you know, I can see that. You know, brains zooming out, feeling is zooming in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm always kind of in a I don't know. I'm also like, I'm a very spiritual person, but I'm also a very, like, I believe in science as well. So it's also it's I don't know. It's still me writing the music, but I don't know where the inspiration comes from. You know?
Yeah, that probably also comes from the fact that you say that you do not consciously make any decisions on a kind of concept. You know, if you don't make that decision, then everything that comes topic-wise is something that you add on later, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Then, I mean, like, I know that you've recorded the new record, just like the other records, in a studio. Have you already thought of getting some things recorded in other buildings, in other environments, you know, and see where that leads you? For example, I know that some people love to record in churches for the sound of it. Other people I know like to go outside and try to record as much as possible in a live environment outside. Have you thought about that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So if you could choose, would you record in the church or in the woods? Or in a science
lab? Depends on the music, I think. Depends on what I write next. I don't know what it's. It depends on what you're going for. I think, yeah, of course, recording in a church is something I think every band ever wants to do. The acoustics are insane.
Interesting that indirectly you already call Verwoed a band, not a project anymore. I can already see, like next record or in two records, it's not.
Yeah. No. To me, Verwoed is a band already, because I mean, we are a live band. Yeah. So what the fuck that I play all the instruments in the studio. We're still a band.
Is that also connected to the fact that some of the material on the new record is like years old, and that a lot of time has passed in between? Also, a lot of time when you and the others were already on stage together, so that, you know, that is also a reason why it's now already more of a band.
I think so. Yeah, and also like writing this stuff also, like I had like Jeroen and Michael in the back of my head. You know, writing it, demoing it, and recording it. I was like, okay, it would be cool if Jeroen could do this or that live and also on record, because they also contributed on the record. Yeah.
Erik, something that struck me is, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the first record that you are not only releasing through Argento Records, but also simultaneously through Wolves of Hades, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, like, you've been with Argento Records for, I think, more or less since the beginning, right? How does it come that now you are working with Wolves of Hades as well?
It kind of came to be because Jorgos, who runs Wolves of Hades, got involved with Argento. Because the main thing, like Michael, our guitar player, and my good friend, he runs Argento Records, but like life happened and he couldn't really like manage the label by himself anymore, so Jorgos stepped in to help. So it felt natural to put both labels on the record, because like, Jorgos has his own label, Wolves of Hades, as well, of course, and Argento Records is, yeah, like you said, like the label I've been releasing through the past couple of years. So yeah, again, it wasn't a conscious choice on my side, but it just happened.
I do not know if this is a good business model, not making any conscious choices, but
No, no.
But
no, like they both like Michael and Jorgos both figured it would be the best way to release this record.
yeah,
Like,
and
I really
Jorgos
wanted
is on the record as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he plays the solo, the guitar solo on the Madman's Dance. Yeah, which is yeah, nailed it on that one. Yeah, great guitar player, also great guy. Has some great bands. He is in Deutschland and plays live for Lamp of Murmur as well.
Yeah,
Guy.
Isn't Lamp of Murmur playing some European shows this year sometime, I think?
Could be. I don't know.
I think so. But coming back to your record, and that is the last thing before we go into the infamous quickfire round at the end. The artwork really struck me when I first saw it.
That's great.
Yeah. So first of all, who did it? And second of all, did you find it, or was it done for the record?
It was done for the record by my dear friend Joost Verwoed, who also sings in Terzijde Horde. I don't know if you've heard of them.
I do.
Black metal band from Utrecht.
Yeah, it's like this incestuous scene up there, right? It's
yeah, but I mean, like a few days from now, I'm not living in Utrecht anymore, so it's less incestuous.
Yeah, you're the outsider, man.
I'm the outsider then. Yeah.
So, but Joost, when he did the cover for The Mother, did you let him free reign, or did you tell him something that, okay, I would like to have this, I would like to have that?
No, that's how we like. We always like, and that's how I prefer to work with people. I just sent him the music and the lyrics. Like, the lyrics weren't even finished yet. I just sent him the music and he just starts working. And that's the sounds, like the music, inspire him, and it just goes from that. And every time around, I don't know how or I don't know how he does it. Like for the fall as well and Bodemloos, like he did all my artwork. It's always spot on. Like he just gets it. And maybe it's also because we know each other for a long time. I think I know him, 20 years maybe. We also played in the band together, 20 years ago, something like that. He gets me. He gets what I'm doing without me having to explain to him what it is that I'm doing. Because, you must have.
You don't even know what it is.
Got that by now. Like, most of the time, I don't even know what I'm doing. Like it's just, So it's. I'm blessed with Joost.
With good friends.
Doing what he does for Verwoed. Yeah.
Something that I also recognized in every Verwoed cover, there is somewhere the color red. Is that because Joost thinks you're a red band?
Like, is it a play on words? Like
no,
red band?
There is always the color red, and I was wondering whether you and he agreed on the color red, or whether he recognized you as a red-colored band.
No, it's no. Yeah, somehow it's always red that ends up in the cover. Yeah, I don't know why. It just works, I guess.
I'll have to ask him when I meet him.
The thing is, like, I sent him the record, like I did with the Val and with Bodemloos, and he just starts painting like crazy. Like for the mother as well, he painted like, I don't know, like 20 pieces. It's insane. And I go to his house, there's like the floor is covered with paintings, and every painting has a different story to it. And it's also like they're not all red paintings. Like there's also purple ones, blue ones, gray ones, green ones, whatever. Yeah, so it's insane how he works, but in the end, we are always we always both decide that this will be the one. We're always like on the same page. Like,
okay,
just look at all the paintings, and we're both always like decided, like unanimously. It's a great way to work with someone.
Whatever you describe about the band, it sounds like a very organic process, but amicably.
Yeah,
like very, very organic.
That's that's a great way to describe. Not just Joost, but Verwoed as well, I think.
Yeah, for all the things that you're describing, right? I mean, like, think about the coincidence that you are now on two labels, because both labels in a way personally worked together. Okay, then most of these people are also on the record, so it's a very, very flowy kind of process. Amazing, definitely, and very amicable. So Erik, first of all, thanks for all the insight into the record. Second of all, of course, I cannot leave you here from the Veil of Sound interview, or I cannot let you go without having to go through the infamous quickfire round at the end. So you will always get two alternatives and have to choose one of them, and maybe give a short explanation for your choice. And as we were talking so much about music, this time I only stuck with musical alternatives. Let's start off with something easy. Which band do you personally like more? Wolves in the Throne Room or Agaloch?
Agaloch.
Why?
I
Any
never
kind of
really
personal
listened to
favorite?
Wolves in the Throne Room, so I never really listened to Wolves in the Throne Room, so I can't really compare.
Yeah, that is already enough. That is already enough.
Yeah.
You also spoke about two bands that many people would at first probably not associate with your music unless they really think about it. And one of them was Nick Cave. So which of the following two albums would you rather listen to right now? Murder Ballads or No More Shall We Part?
Murder Ballads.
Why?
I really love the, for me, it's the earlier Nick Cave that really strikes a chord with me.
Okay. So then you are not
but
one of those people. Yeah, you go on.
Personal favorite is always Tender Prey.
Okay. So are you then one of those people who say like the last? I mean, like all Cave albums are really, really good. You know, that is something that we should all agree on. But many people say that Push the Sky Away is one of his best ones. Would you agree with that, or do you say like, no?
It's a good one, but it's not his best one. No.
There we're definitely on the same page. And you were talking about
Tender Prey. His other stuff is that does it for me. Yeah.
Do you even also listen to stuff? Do you even also listen to stuff before the Bad Seeds, like the Birthday Party?
The Birthday Party, of course. Yeah. Prayers on Fire. Yeah. Amazing. Huge inspiration to my musical endeavors. Yeah.
Interesting. That is, I can see the Cave influence. I would not have figured the Birthday Party influence, but I can see that. I can see that. Okay. You also mentioned Swans. So again, I'll give you a newer one and I'll give you an older one. Filth versus The Beggar. The last one.
What was the last one?
Beggar, the last one, right? The last record they put out last year. I think it was last year. Let me look it up.
Oh, I don't think I've even heard that one.
And I have to give you another alternative, right? Just let me think.
The last recent one album I heard was This Charm. No, The Seer, I think.
Okay, let's say The Seer versus
which is
Filth.
already The Seer.
The Seer, then? Would that be your general go-to record by Swans, or do you have a different favorite?
No, I think that's the go-to record. That's a go-to Swans record for me. Yeah, because it's a fucking incredible, crazy record.
It is.
You don't just listen to one song, like you have to experience it from start to finish, and it will leave you wrecked every time you listen to it. It's
one of those bands that you cannot listen to without being struck in a way, isn't it? You know?
Yeah.
It always changes you in a way. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And
then of course you go on.
Filth and like their 80s records are amazing. This year is something else for me personally. Yeah.
So we started this conversation with me dropping 3 bands, but I think I can see a connection to the mother. And let's start with the band that you're wearing, Iskandr. Which of the 2 records would you rather listen to right now? Oi Prosopon or Gelder Support?
Sorry, what?
Which Iskandr record would you rather listen to right now? What is it? Oi Prosopon or Gelder Support?
I think Ultha.
And then the other band
Gelder Support is the Gelder Support is the EP, right?
Yeah,
like
it's
the 2
an
song.
EP, yes.
Yeah.
But you would stick with Oi Prosopon.
Yes.
How do you pronounce that name? My goodness. All you Dutch people with crazy names. So, and then the band from my part of the Rhine, Ultha. Again, which record would you rather listen to? The Inextricable Wandering or All That Has Never Been True?
I have to be completely honest with you.
Yes.
That I have no idea.
Then I'll choose for
the
you.
Only time the only time I've listened to them is when I see them live.
Yeah, and then you're blown away.
So I have no idea. Yeah, they're fucking great live, man. But yeah, no idea about their records. Yeah.
So if anybody wants to get into this black metal madness from Cologne, I would say the last record and All That Has Never Been True. I think that's a record to start with, and then go backwards. But I'm very sure you will know the following 2 records: Bloom or De Chroniken van. Don't get me wrong, like the last two Fluisteraars EPs or Bloom. Which ones?
The last 2 EPs, or?
Yeah, the last 2 EPs combined, or Bloom, Bloem. Bloom, right? Bloom.
I think the last 2 EPs. Because there they really, like we talked about in the beginning of this interview, like they really do something completely different and out of this world. Yeah, that. I mean, like Bloom is an amazing record, and the one after that as well. But what they are onto now is something else, and that really strikes me most.
Understandably. But again, also one of those bands, right, where no record has a flaw. It's basically a flawless discography.
Flawless, yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that gig. But I'm also very much looking forward to your gig at Roadburn. And therefore, everybody who sees this now on April 14th, Verwoed is playing in a few days at Roadburn, the same day as Fluisteraars is playing. So maybe you get your weekend doses of Dutch black metal in one day. Listen to the new record, listen to the mother, prepare yourself through a ride of psychedelic black metal that is randomly heard nowadays. Not a lot of bands do that to the premium level that Erik has been doing it on this record. And then, Erik, I'll see you in Tilburg in a few days. And for everybody else out there, check out those records.
Thank you.
So, Erik, enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.